Good morning from the north. Oscars are looking great. At nighttime, they have bad dreams, and then they kind of like go nuts in the tank and bump into things, or something startles them. I don't know. I think they have bad dreams. Is what I think's going on with these things. I leave a nightlight on for them, but it doesn't matter. First, I thought it was because it was too dark. But anyway, last night they smashed into that blue pipe going up, and I got a bunch of suction cups to keep it in place. But they moved it. And what happened was, you see how this little drop sticks up there. This I don't know what to call it. The pipe. It comes up and then the water drops, so I call it a drop. Well, the drop height has to be a certain height. You can actually control your flow rate by raising and lowering that. Well, the Discus lowered it, and when they did that, then the tank started to fill up too high. It was doing it very slowly, but I came down and it was like just like kissing this. It was right up to the top. So. And then you're like, why is this happening? And it's never a clog. It's always something's been moved. So I've learned that. I always checking for clogs when I start seeing something like that. But it's because they moved the drop. So now, last night confirmed that for me. So I gotta make sure that stays at the right height. And as long as that stays at the right height, everything stays perfect. And I've got it kind of marked with that green tape. I just got to keep the green tape above the water line, and we're good. It's actually gone down a little bit right now. Bring it back up. Have to resecure that a little better. It's moved again, but not by much. There. That's where I got to keep it. It looks like a mess, but it kind of works. But yeah, that's on a job for today, is to make that not move, even if they hit it, because it's not the best thing. This thing is not the best thing to use in a tank with big ass fish, let me tell you, because they can move it, and when they do, I'll get a flood. They've gotten me twice that way in months, but it doesn't like hurt anything. The floor just gets a little wet. The tanks stay full. None of the fish get hurt, but it will stop my flow system. What it does is it empties the barrel, and it partly empties the lower 75-gallon tank, and then the flow system stops. So, and we don't want the flow system to stop. We need that to keep running. So, if nothing was big enough to disrupt those pipes, it would be a flawless system. But it's not. I don't know. I'm almost thinking of putting in some kind of wall. To kind of maybe get some black plexiglass and put a wall over those pipes, so they just can't be tampered with. Or maybe some egg crate. I've got to do something better than what I'm doing, is what I'm saying. But as long as they don't hit it, it runs like a Swiss watch. So still too early to show you this tank. The lights will probably come on any second, but it'd be funny if they just blinked on right now. And here we have the Discus. They've had a small feeding already. I'll give them protein in another hour or two. And a couple hours after that, just small feedings with kibbles and flake. And I do about 6 feeds a day, because all my fish are still young, even though they look nice and large. Some of them are like a little over half a year old, and they're still quite big. Like him. Even this one, believe it or not, is very young. It's just because my tank's dialed in now, so I'm getting proper, like, full-on growth rates. Even this one is not even a year old yet, and look at the size of it. It's probably still got 5 months left of skeletal growth. Look at the eye to body size ratio. What a beautiful fish. See, now they're going to start turning out like champions. In the beginning, I had a lot of learning to do. So I ended up with fish that look more like this from my inexperience. It's not him. This one. Eye to body size ratio. Still a beautiful fish. But that eye's pretty big. As long as you can fit 4 eyes, and I can, it's still a good discus. But that's borderline stunted right there. Borderline. Same with this one. Same brood. And some people blame that on genes. I blame it on my inexperience. I admit it. This one's stunted here because she got really sick in the middle of a growth spurt. So I don't know if I can bring her back. She's not ugly stunted, but she's stunted. She'll probably end up this size when she's done. But this one's going to show us something. This one's going to show us how big a discus can get. It's probably so will these newer pigeon bloods, because they're growing real good. Get full form discus, properly grown out, good skeletons. That's a discus game. It's not just having them in a tank. It's growing them properly. You can go out and buy adults, so you don't have to worry about that, which is great, but you need money for that, you know? You need to be a money guy. I'm not a money guy, so I'm doing it the old, slow way. Buy the babies, grow them out. And you're gonna screw up with the first batch. You're gonna make mistakes for the first year. So that's why I'm making these videos. You can see all my mistakes. You can be like, yep, this is what I gotta fix. This is what I've gotta fix. You can get there faster than I did by just, following along. You could look at your tank and say, oh, look, my tank, I just set it up a couple months ago. It's full of algae. And you can go through my history and see where my tank was a couple months old. And guess what? It's full of algae, all right? You'll see the stages, then you'll see how I try to get through them, what I do, what I don't do, what made my fish die. It's all there for you. That's what this channel is about. And that's going to help more and more people actually be able to keep these fish successfully and not give up on them. And, it's a pretty big letdown when you try to do something like this and then you fail. It's an economic letdown to your wallet. It's an emotional letdown to yourself. And then, it's a letdown to the family members around you who, who are disappointed. But, heck, sometimes being successful with these fish seems to disappoint the people around you. I've literally had people plot to steal my fish. You get a few $1,000s worth of fish in a desperate economic environment. It's amazing what people will do. It's amazing. People you trust, people you're trying to help out, sitting there in the background trying to conceive some kind of plan to get you thrown into a cell long enough that they can get your fish out of the house. Disgusting. But you see, a lot of times people like that, they don't think far enough ahead. They think they're smart, but they didn't know what they were dealing with. And well, the police showed up. I know how to handle myself, and on top of that, basically, I'm a man in my 50s who's lived in the same city my whole life. The cops don't even know my name. I have absolutely no criminal history. I have no history of domestic problems. Nothing. They, like, literally spotless. Heck, I'd never even been suspended from school. So, then they looked at the people who were trying to work me over, and cops aren't dumb. They put it all together real quick, apologized for disturbing me, and drove away, and laughed about it basically. So, but yeah, it's the world we live in. Have a wonderful day.